This it's so cool. This is my first time doing YouTube live. I am challenging myself to start going live on all my platforms now. And so I'm excited that I finally can do YouTube live. It like made me wait 24 hours. But anyways, hi, I am Leaky. I wrote a spoken word book and I finally published it this year. It's called Unsent Letters, a spoken word series by Liquey Ray. It is available on Amazon. And just a little bit about my book. I spent the last 3 years writing this book, and it literally took me 3 years to finish it. And I am so proud of it. Um, I love my journey with it. This project, it is one of my greatest accomplishments because this is something that I started and I finished. And it's really hard for me to finish things. And I am one that loves to start creative projects and then um, get it to like, a certain point and then just stop and completely forget about it and start something new. And so I'm so glad that I finished something. Um, I have been writing spoken word and poetry since I was 9 years old. Well, first it started off as just poetry. And when I was 16 is when I started writing spoken word and performing spoken word. And not only is writing one of my greatest passions, but also performing my pieces became as well. I love to express myself in this way, and I love to take myself on a journey in anything that I'm writing. And I found a love for actually writing out spoken word and writing stories when I was a kid. That was um, a way that I felt more connected to me. And even now, um, I will I will go on periods where I am only writing and that's all I want to do. And I'm writing nonstop, and then I will have parts where I haven't written in a while. And I had stopped writing when I was 21. And I had, from 9 years old all the way up to 21, I had been writing all the time. I'm 27 now. Hi. Um, and I stopped writing for 3 years. And that was the longest I had ever gotten without writing. And in those 3 years, I held a lot of things back. I, was such a pivotal point in my life, in my development as a person. I was, 21 years old. So, like, that was like my first peak of adulthood, transitioning from a teenager to an adult. Thank you. Um, and I just remember being very closed and very numb during that time of my life. And I was just starting to experience life. I, for the first time, was drinking. And like when I was 22, that was the first time I ever drank. That was the first time I ever went out to a club. That's when I finally got my driver's license. That's when I got my first car. That's when I got my first apartment. That's when I first started smoking weed. That's when I lost my virginity. Like everything happened when I was 22. And I I was trying to process literally living life. And I when I was 24, I had changed everything. I used to be really involved in ministry. I used to live in California. I'd moved to Hawaii, and one day I just decided I want to write again. And I did my usual routine where I would come home from work and I would light up a candle and I would light up a J and I would just relax. And I decided I'm going to write. And I wanted to take a picture of that moment where I finally started writing. And that's when I took this picture and it became the cover of my very first book. Oh, thanks for apologizing. Yeah, that's how I came up with this book. And the very first chapter is the first spoken word I've ever written in 3 years, right, of not writing. And that was the first time I felt like I could ever write for me and truly write what I wanted to say, how I felt. Um, Again, I used to be really involved in church and really involved in ministry. And so I always had to write what they wanted me to write about. I had to write about their vision and their youth gang, write about God. And even though I do enjoy writing about God, because I do have a connection with Him, I wanted to talk about me. And I wanted to talk about what made me angry. And I wanted to talk about what broke my heart. And I wanted to talk about um, things that felt good to me and when I fell in love. And I wanted to talk about my depression. And I wanted to talk about my anxiety. And I wanted to talk about my ADHD. I wanted to talk about everything. And I wanted to feel everything. And I wanted to hear myself. I never let myself um, be heard. I always, my whole life, I grew up pushing my feelings to the side and being focused on being perfect and being this, like this perfect Christian girl, perfect Christian daughter, the perfect friend, the perfect sister, the perfect example. I I had to be so perfect, and I only loved myself because you know, because I was this like idea of perfection, and I only would love myself when I was perfect and when I was constantly accomplishing things and when I was constantly doing things and when I was constantly creating things. And even now, that's still, something that's there that I work on. But during that time was the first time I really dealt with my emotions and dealt with my feelings and learned how to navigate myself through my depression and through anxiety and work on my mental health and be as creative as can be and write and express myself as much as I wanted to. And so I wrote this book, and I'm just going to start reading it. Unsent Letters. I have a little poem and a letter to my readers. For the writers and the readers, the sensitive souls, lovers and dreamers, exteriors so bold, so strong, yet behold a softness, whimsical and sweet. May your beautiful stories be told. May your hearts stay evergreen. Dear reader, thank you for taking the time to read a few secrets I lock up inside. Words that would never roam past my mind at last spill down my fingers as I eagerly type. Oh, how I cried. As pieces of me converted into words, morphing myself, healing and hurt, blessed and cursed, the best and the worst. My pride swells till it bursts, mudding the dirt, hours of digging, a lifetime of work, a lifetime of thoughts, a lifetime of dreams, a lifetime of fears, a lifetime of peace. I'm ready to break open and allow you to find words I've kept hidden, words cruel and words kind. I'm ready to break free and allow you to see words I've kept silent, words dull and words vibrant. I'm ready to break rules and allow you to access words that have power, words now and words past tense. So thank you, dear reader. May our souls momentarily tether as you experience the words of my unsent letters. Love, Liquey Ray. Unsent Letters, Chapter 1. Heart breakup. Dear heart, it's been a minute since we've been connected. I thought of reaching out, but the way that things had ended was too messy and depressing. Couldn't bear another second. I hope you're not offended. Our talk has just begun, but I already sense some tension. That wasn't my intention. Want to heal these open wounds, and there's a lot that needs attention. Wound number 1. There's nothing worse to me than feeling unwanted. Okay, let's unpack this. The obvious results of a parent being absent. I cried myself to sleep at night because I didn't understand why I wasn't good enough to have a sober dad. Or the time when I was 14 and the first boy I ever loved pretended not to know me. It's always the ones that chase you first. I came to the conclusion that boys only love the thought of me, and isn't that the fucking worst? Or when I was 21 and I prepared to be his wife, but he was screwing someone else because he lived a double life. As I said, they only loved the thought of me. He didn't even feel bad, not even an apology. That feeling of being unwanted turns into thinking I'm not good enough. Why am I never good enough? It's just so much easier to never want anyone than to risk being rejected by the one I want the most. Wound number 2. How old was I the first time? I was 6. Then I was 7. And then I was 8. And then I moved when I was 9. Growing up in church, if you were a girl, you had to be pure. And I did it with a passion, and I did it out of fear because I was told if I didn't wait, I would disappoint my future husband. Mess up once and you're good for nothing. Actually, let me rephrase, get taken advantage of. I was 19. Never really noticed and never really seen. I was a good girl, a sweet church girl, but an easy target apparently. She makes it too easy for him. Yeah, I guess I did. I loved him and I believed he loved me. But what he loved was to touch me, and I'd push his hands away till I was weak and I was drained, but he never got tired. He always got his way. Then he'd say that he adores me, as if a wolf adores his prey. I was a sheep, sad to say. And I protected him because I wanted him to stay. I was 22, brokenhearted, and too drunk to walk, and he was there. He was sober, and since then we haven't talked. But of course, I'm the one at fault. I'm the one in sin. He's the innocent church boy, and I'm the whore that derailed him. So I decided to keep the fun parts of sex and leave the feelings behind. And I've had friends with benefits, one-night stands, and it made me feel alive. It made me feel powerful. I was in control. I had a sexual awakening and I was on a roll. Look into my eyes as I capture your soul. Love so divine you relish unfold. Dream night after night of my magical hold. So hard. I disconnected you from my body, and maybe that was bad because I've never made love, but damn it, I can fuck, and I'm the best they've ever had. Wound number 3. I have to be perfect. Perfect all the time. I crave it. I need it. Perfection, at least I die. I don't think I fully love and accept myself unless I am. I put so many conditions on the amount of love and goodness I am worthy of based on where I land on my self-made spectrum of perfection. As long as I am perfect, no one has to worry about me. Perfection never raised questions. Perfection never faced rejection. Perfection blurs away everything I hate about myself and my life and gives me the illusion of wholeness. As long as I am perfect, I am whole. As long as I am perfect, I am complete. As long as I am perfect, I can be loved. But I'm not perfect yet, and I never accept who I am in the present to ever be enough. How do I love myself in the present? And not this hypothetical version of me that is more successful and 50 pounds skinnier and wears designer clothes and travels the world. How do I accept myself in the present? Not the version of me that is fully healed and promotes self-love and self-care and sisterhood camaraderie. How do I embrace myself? The raw version, because honestly, I guess I'm also just in love with the thought of me. Yikes. How's that for reality? Why do I only love myself when I accomplish things? Yes, I do believe that I'm worthy of blessings and happiness and respect and love. But I'm hard on myself because life has taught me that many don't agree with that statement above. So many are just talk. Mainly all lies, mainly all wolves. So run before they bite, before it gets too late. Wolves are stronger in the night. And I've been told that I'm a sheep. And sheep aren't meant to fight. They're meant to be protected, but I'm not, so I'll hide. Hide under perfection. Because then I can't be hurt. Heart, we're disconnected because that's what's best for her. The her that can be perfect. The her that feels no pain. The her that has it all and dates with NSA. The her that's not depressed. The her that's not betrayed. The her that's not an anxious mess. The her that's not afraid. We're disconnected now, and that's how we'll remain. But I'm glad we got to have this talk. I'll come back for you someday. You can get my book on Amazon, Unsent Letters, a spoken word series by Liquey Ray. Unsent Letters, Chapter 2, The Boys and the Butterflies. The time he hugged me from behind while we were goofing off in a Barnes & Noble, and how he declared his feelings for me for the first time in the entryway of a Safeway. How could the sweet delicacy of butterfly wings be used to describe this raging anxiety. There's foreign objects flying inside of me, and they take all control. I really try to be cool, but I'm in panic mode, and I'm typically so charming, so I pray it doesn't show. But I keep wiping my palms, and boys are always so calm, like literally unbothered. Well, I literally want to die because I'm so fucking awkward. Like the time when he compared our hand sizes so he can interlock our fingers. Then he said my nails were pretty. Ooh, what an enchanting speaker. And the time on the phone, I joked and said, "You hate me." And he laughed and said, "No, I love, like, I like you." I said, "You love me." He said, "Maybe." And when I said, "I just want to be perfect, perfect all the time," and he replied with, "But aren't you though?" Damn, I hate when he's right. And when we sat at my table and I had a case of Bouncy knee, and he locked it in between his legs, held it down and looked at me. You know when you can't stop bouncing your knee because subconsciously your body is just leaking out anxiety, or maybe it's the ADHD. Well, he made me feel grounded in that moment, at least, because before I knew it, they were again flapping those motherfucking wings like that night by the lake. Oh, when I was ready to throw some hands, but then he picked me up and kissed me, and I forgot why I was mad. And when he FaceTimed me drunk, because I'm forever on his mind, it was 3 a.m. and I answered. First thing he said, "I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you," about 6 or 7 times. And when we were both so scared to let each other in, and he pulled out his guitar and sang "We Can Happen." I know it can happen, 'cause you know that I've been feeling you. I hope you want me to. And I did. And all the nights he held me close because secretly I'm clingy. And all those thoughts and talks that had me thinking, damn, this guy can read me. And the time he snuck out to the beach with his friends and wrote our nicknames in the sand. He always broke the rules and always made me laugh. Things ended really ugly, like really bad, but damn, I really did love him. And deep down, I believe he really loved me back. Love I was meant to feel. It's not a love that was meant to last. It's so beautiful and liberating to reminisce on the past, but to focus on the sweet things. These memories are so humbling because I always focus on the worst. Turn my prince into a villain because what he did fucking hurt. It's easy to blur what was once a blessing and remember it as a curse. And it's easy to blur the line between love and hate because my descriptions of them turn dark, but the passion stays the same. And I don't want my book of love to be chapter after chapter of another heartbreak. I want life. And I want electricity. And I want to remember the sparks from the first time he kissed me. And I want to smile at the thought of when he first touched my hand. And I want lust and adventure from the bittersweet romance. And hopefully it inspires me to take another chance. to let the butterflies fly again, even if their wings don't last. You can get my book on Amazon, Unsent Letters, a spoken word series by Liquey Ray. Thank you. Unsent Letters, Chapter 3, Do or Die. I'm starting to feel more of me again. I wonder where she went. The remaining part of me thought that she was dead. The trauma of losing me suppressed all my memories, digressed all my energy, that I didn't even know I was mourning her loss. I forgot that she was. I forgot she was real. I forgot she had life. I forgot she was warm, and she laughed and she cried. What happened to her? I am her. What caused her to hide? I'm here. It's me. I've been here the whole time. Maybe it was the anxiety that ate away fragments of my soul. And maybe it was the depression that absorbed the joy I used to know. And maybe it was fear that trained my thoughts to their control. But somewhere deep in limbo, I heard my cry for help. The remainders of my being, fighting hard and reaching out, speaking loud, dreaming out the life I've had. If I could just grab the wheel and just reroute, flip a bitch and turn around. It's do or die, take it now. The words that echoed out her mouth overruled all other sounds. Fear was in the driver's seat, but I got one hand on the wheel. I knew my demons had some hands, and their mission was to kill. My mind they tried to steal, destroy all my peace, and destroy all my will. Steering and swinging. Damn, what a thrill. I should get compensation. Invoice that bill. When I got my seat back, I saw the weather change. And though my soul rejoiced in sunshine, it wasn't yet time to celebrate. Because it wasn't just depression, but a pattern I had to break. What emotions are triggering this darkness? And what situations are triggering these emotions? So many layers and thoughts and commotion. I observed the cycles. Now that I've gained control, I can finally see what's inside. Inside, I saw anger. So much that it felt wrong. Anger hidden under depression. And then I thought, maybe depressed people are just people who've been angry for too long. And then I looked under anger. And under that, I found bitterness. Wandering around, lost in the wilderness. And under bitterness was resentment. I resent the world because I didn't feel protected. And under resentment, a deep sadness. A sadness I've abandoned, unseen, unheard, malnourished, and damaged. It was then I realized that it was so much more than just gaining control. It was achieving emotional freedom. That was the key to making me whole. Acknowledge, feel, resolve, release, embrace, don't suppress. I matter to me. I accept all these things. Here's my patience. Here's my love, my forgiveness, and peace. Peace at last. And the little things that make up what I find beautiful about me are slowly coming back. I like to wait until I'm in my car to hear a new song. And then I sing it with all of my heart at the top of my lungs. And I like taking pictures of cute ladybugs. And I love to dance alone in the living room to songs like Miss Jackson. And I love going on pointless rants that get people laughing. And I love going to the gym when no one else is there. And I love doing face masks and taking care of my hair. I love room decor sections so I can feel the soft blankets. And I love walking after it rains because the air is so fragrant. And when I cook, I love pretending that I have my own show. And I love, 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 love to sit and write poems. I love waking up early to watch the pretty sunrise. I love how the colors in the sky can bring my soul to life. I love smoking weed outside when it's warm. And I love lighting candles all night till the morn. I love writing in cursive because it looks so romantic. And I love the smell of bookstores. My heart becomes ravished. And I love that I'm getting myself back to me. And I love that I'm healing. And love that I'm free. I love my discouragement that evolved into dreams. I love all the passion and fire I bring. And I embrace all my brokenness because it's given me peace. It's opened my lungs. And now I can breathe. It's given me life. I'm alive. I'm loving myself back to life. You can get my book on Amazon, Unsent Letters, a spoken word series by Liquey Ray. Unsent Letters, Chapter 4. Landing in Love. I've always loved setting goals, drawing out the boxes, crossing off the lines. I stayed loyal to the checklist in my life. The calligraphy of my preteen inspired dreams. Who would I be before I was 25? When I was 14, I dreamed of living alone and having my own apartment. My song at the time was Miss Independent, and I meant it. I promised myself I'd go out and get it. I got it. Embodied my definition of independently living, drive, and ambition, conditioned my mind, and fruition became the theme of my life. But of course, it was deeper than just a song. What I want more than anything is security. Security is directly linked to my peace, my safety, my source of comfort. And if I don't have that in my life, I'm in distress, stuck in my head and not present, can't comprehend the moments flying by in front of me because I'm filled with anxiety and it's intense, but I digress. I look at my accomplishments and I'm proud. I thank God for giving me the strength to stick it out. I can do anything I put my mind to. And yet, here I am, still trying to figure out how to gain true security in the matters of love. Because in everything else, I only need to trust myself. Here I am, almost 28, afraid to even try again. Almost 28 and still not married yet. I know that's something that shouldn't have a time limit. I've just cared for myself for quite some time. And I can't help if my desires incline to separate from me, unite with the soul as vibrant as mine, not be alone like I've been all my life.
but it's been unattainable. I asked myself why. I'm not going to cry. Just been down that road too many times. And I'd love to free fall, fully enthrall my heart and eyes to see life through enchanted lenses. Love unrolls my sweet intentions are the effervescent essence illuminating through my presence, stimulating all five senses, breathtaking and effortless. Just to reminisce it makes me want to try again. But I'm hesitant, and it's evident. I need to be careful because it's so easy to confuse capacity and potential. It's easy to cling to what could be instead of the present reality. What's right in front of me is as far as it can get with them. So it's best to cut my losses and forget the dream I built inside my head. If I don't release the dream, that's how I become obsessed, become upset, then resent the one I loved. And I'm done. Resenting and regretting moments I've traded peace for agony is just insanity. I want to feel safe. I'm drained. My arms are weak from holding up my weight. The thing about free falling, you never know where you'll end up. Unrequited love is such a painful place. The next time, I won't be afraid. Because next time, I'm not falling. Next time, I'm landing. I'm happy to never fall again. Falling is chaos, but landing has intention. Falling is blind, but landing knows where it's headed. Embedded in my mind, never to let anyone abuse my time, energy, soul, body. I'm honestly promising, live and subconsciously, I'm untied till I tie the knot. You land and you fly. If it doesn't work out, I love you, but goodbye. And if I don't get to say I do, I'm cool. Forever's a long time. You can get my book on Amazon, Unsent Letters, a spoken word series by Liquey Ray. My gosh, hello, the lights. Okay. I know, right? But unfortunately, my beauty doesn't make the quality of the man or woman. I do date both. Okay, this one is one of my favorite spoken words. Unsent Letters, Chapter 5, Fun Boy Ride. Again, you can get my book on Amazon. Unsent Letters, a spoken word series by Liquey Ray. Okay, Chapter 5, Fun Boy Ride. He's a fun boy. Crazy highs and lows. You'd think I had enough, boy. I wish. He'll never leave me alone. Not permanently. It's the audacity. He thinks he can come in and out confidently, except about his whereabouts and feelings for me he won't share about, but he's the only one I'm supposed to care about, ironically. And it's ironic and a bit self-sabotagey. I have a history of men thinking they own me when I don't recall him paying my fee. I don't recall getting a ring, but I stay getting his rings at night. Guess I won't be sleeping at night. He's a fun boy. Hit and run boy. Get it done boy. Don't fall in love boy. He is not the one. And he got a few like, you think I can't replace you? I've had boys fall in love with the same name as you. But I guess we're both down bad. And I don't know what's worse. You still calling me? Or me still answering when I have you blocked from Instagram? Yeah, I guess we're both down bad. And I don't know what's worse. Your desperate need for attention Or me sending you a text that came from my notes first. But I be days and day, blazing day, dream about him lately, haze, a New Haven Bay native. I'm amazing. I love it when I don't miss him or that male validation. And I love when I'm about me and stay the hell away from dating. And if I ever want it, all I gotta do is walk outside or stay in. I made a hinge last night, less than 12 hours, already had 50 plus likes, no swipes. That's the amount of time I used to spend with you on FaceTime. Yikes! How time flies. And I won't lie, I love those times. Please know if you ever need me, you always have me in your memories. So tap into that instead of my line. I can still take up space in your head without you begging for my time. He's a fun boy, never enough boy, doesn't shut up boy, pretends that we're cuffed boy, and his imagination goes wild. And mine, even better. Imagine what we could accomplish if we were actually together. I don't stay there too long. I like to keep my thoughts of him synced to his pattern, and this fairy tale is just too unstable to put happily ever after in. Yeah, I accept it. Like I accepted him. Blew away the wish and gave it to the wind. Not my problem anymore. I'll attract another prince. I want a knight of cups. Bring the chalice to my lips. Spare the horse and ride him, don't forget. I'm a fun girl. Gets it done, girl. Take shit from none, girl. Here comes the sun, girl. I'm a dream girl. Beauty hauntings in your sleep, girl. Possesses you to pick up the phone when you drink, girl. I'm a free girl. Smokes weed, girl. Surrounds myself with pretty things, girl. All flags green, girl. A sweet girl. Innocent look, but freaky as can be, girl. Built to be the one, but just let me be, girl. Poetically magnetic, enchanted mystery, girl. A masterpiece, girl. They all want a piece, girl. But I'm about my peace, girl. Life of luxury, girl. It's in the palm of my hands, and I'll be damned if I get sucked in by another fun boy masquerading as a man. I've retired from the fun boy life. Roth IRA with a pension plan. Survivor of the fun boy ride. Post a pic with no tag. Soft launching is my jam. And now I'm on to better things. And you lingering isn't part of my plan. Can't have him getting comfortable when he's not there to fill my cup and mine alone. Yeah, it's in the palm of my hand. So I'll just dust them off and walk away while I still can. You can get my book on Amazon, Unsent Letters, a spoken word series by Liquey Ray. Oh, it is coming. We are barely on chapter 6. So when I wrote this book, majority of it I wrote when I was 24. And that's when I was finally like coming to terms with myself, coming to terms with my sexuality, and starting to date women as well. That's when I started going on dates with women and having sex with women and things like that. Like I grew up super religious and in church, and so it was always a sin. I never felt like I could express that part of me, or even live that part of me. I thought it forever had to be a secret. I thought I had to forever contain the fullness of me, and I didn't know a lot of people in my life that were bisexual. I felt like there wasn't much representation, and so I love presenting myself as a bisexual woman. I love bi pride. Literally, I love promoting all bi creators, bi artists. Like I love my bi kings and queens, and I am so proud to be bisexual. So yes, you could get my book on Amazon. Support queer writers and queer business owners and queer creators. Unsent Letters, Chapter 6, Beauty in the Beast. I've always been a lover girl, mesmerized by the idea of sweet romantic love, patiently awaiting my soul's reunion. And I believed in meant to be, and it was bliss. And I believed in the one, in true love's kiss. And through the magic of these beliefs, my heart was preserved until the one became the second, and the second became the third. I grew lost for words as the magical glow of the one slowly fades to none, slowly drains the fun, slowly pains me to become undone. So I looked within myself to find what required a release, and I looked within myself to induce my own relief. And inside, I had to face a fierce and clever beast, and my prince never showed. So I rose and took the lead, face to face with the things I feared most. And I did the unthinkable, what no one has ever shown. I listened, and I heard. Face to face, I looked, and I seen. She had been broken, and my God, she was breathtaking. I listened to all the whys and bottom lines, and I heard her. All of what she needed to share, and in that moment, I understood, and I fell in love. She was remarkable. An article of resilient particles working together, heart and soul, consistently evolving, and I marvel because she was better than magic. And I couldn't imagine doing something as tragic as taking advantage, taking for granted, leaving her broken with all of your baggage. She's strong, and she's been robbed. She's brave and still longs for the day she doesn't have to replace what others take away. When she doesn't have to rebuild what others tried to break, doesn't have to refuel what others tried to drain. I'm amazed to see everything she's been through and watch her move in power with grace. She doesn't need saving. Fully secured in her ability to be whatever she needs, it's amazing. The need to believe and meant to be becomes less of a priority. And the need to believe in the one kind of becomes a joke because a vast majority are pretty much losers and assholes, as studies have shown. And I'm still a lover girl, living in a lovesick world, manifesting romantic storylines that I'll be dreaming of till the end of time. And I love me. More than the idea of love, I love me. I am my manifested fantasy, my living, breathing words that's merged into reality, meant to be more than a broken poet. I am both my soaring dreams and my gravity. I am a healing pool for my catastrophes, rejuvenating waters, pure vitality, effervescent personality, resting in a vessel that I'm beautifully handling. I'm still a lover girl, and I'll pour all the love I have to fill up this world. You can get my book on Amazon, Unsent Letters, a spoken word series by Liquey Ray. So yeah, I have known that I was bisexual since I was probably like 9 years old. Like when I was 5, that's when I knew I started liking boys. And then when I was 9, that's also when I knew I started liking girls. So it was just a natural feeling, right? And like I very much am also attracted to men. Like since I was a little girl, like 5 years old in kindergarten, I would have little boyfriends. I'd have a boyfriend like in my class, like Yeah, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, just like ones that like I always had like a crush on. And then when I was 9 is when I started like falling in love with all the Disney girls, all like Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez, Vanessa Hudgens. Like in my head, like I loved them. Selena Gomez was my wife. So, Unsent Letters, Chapter 7. Damn, I've been hurt before, but this time it's different. This time I have perspective. It's drawing out the worst and the best, the intense, the soft and the stressed, pretty and wrecked, the pretty much unbalanced yet most balanced parts of me. And I think that I'm finally free from the bondage of self torment that latches onto me when I've been broken, attaches the pain to my brain, mentally replaying till I'm mentally drained, mentally praying I'm not mentally enslaved to self-hate. It's deranged. I'm enraged, mentally engaged, the mental capacity to be mentally brave and mentally break deep mental patterns from generational chains. And I've come a long way from being dead in the grave. Dead to awareness made me mentally insane, making new connections that kept ending the same, reliving life lessons until I stopped biting the bait, rewriting my intentions so I attract a better fate. I'm not looking for anyone to heal or fulfill me. I just desire a safe space, sacred place for me to lay my head to rest, heart to nest, as I renew my strength, a protecting place, one that doesn't take advantage of the vulnerable stage, because I work too damn hard for my healing to risk being exposed to relapsing pain. There's so much I've gained from being aware enough to recognize and not re-entertain the same bad thoughts that keep the cycle in place. So, if my power makes you uncomfortable, get out of my way. I will not lower myself to ensure your stay, and even if I was left with no one to assure that I am safe, I have the presence of God, and His mercies are new and new every day. I work really hard to recognize the fake, and I work even harder to not push the real away. Set aside my pride and acknowledge my mistakes. I apologize for the times I shifted the blame so I wouldn't have to take accountability, so I wouldn't have to change. The manipulated luxury of staying the same refined my mind and ignited a flame. Purified through time, prosperity reigns, filling this place, filled past the rim, so close to my lips, awaiting a taste. Flooded with grace, hydrating my faith to speak living things to come into play. Easier said than done, and I'm doing great. Pulled the plug on the run, no need to escape. Dedicated to elevate, take the stairs to teach my legs, wipe the sweat off my face. Enduring, building endurance for every phase. Step 12 sometimes feels like step 1 on harder days. Never giving up, born to pave a way for a generation not yet born today. I'm giving everything I have to slay every giant, to prevent my descendants from being enslaved. Persuade, played, tossed back and forth, uncertain and afraid. I will defeat these enemies because I'm free in my mind. My thoughts are in line. Nothing can imprison us. I'm linked to the divine. You can get my book on Amazon, Unsent Letters, a spoken word series by Liquey Ray. Uh, did they know? No. I didn't, like, I never acknowledged it. I knew it. I knew inside that I was bisexual, but it wasn't until I was 25 when I finally accepted it, like fully accepted it, and knew it and understanding, like, um was seeing that this is just who I am. This is, you know, what my sexual orientation is. It's not even a big deal. It's literally not even a big fucking deal. It's just who you're attracted to. But because I had all this pressure, I grew up in this like super Christian household, right? This mindset of believing that it's wrong and you're gonna go to hell, right? Sexual morality, it's so heavily enforced, right? And then there's like societal norms, but now more people are starting to accept themselves, and being queer is, being more accepted, except they're trying to take it away again. Our rights again. Like, what the fuck? Just let us be gay. Just like gay people be gay. It's not a big deal. Thank you. So a lot of too of my, I guess, like metaphors do come from scripture, right, and biblical stories. We were taught about the I forgot his name. There was a giant, right? It was when I think his name is Anon, where they didn't defeat him, and because they didn't kill that one giant, he had many descendants that like took over the land, and it was like the promised land, right? And so because the generations beforehand didn't deal with that one giant, it caused their lineage, their kids, their grandkids to have to deal with all the giants that came out of that one giant. And to me, like, giants can be a lot of things. It could be mindsets, like different patterns. Like, for example, one thing in my family that I know that I've broken is like teenage pregnancy. And that is every single woman in my direct lineage has been a teenage mom, and I'm the first to not be one. And that was a huge cycle I broke in my family. And I know that I am our family's curse breaker. I know that that is my calling in my family. Another thing that I'm literally spending my life to, like, a giant that I want to defeat is poverty in my family and poverty mindset. And one of my biggest goals and dreams, I know I'm a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. And I'm breaking that in my lineage of poverty, because this is how my mind is now. I've gotten through that blockage of the giant that keeps my head in poverty mindset is like slashed. And now I feel like my lineage is healed. And there's a lot of things, right, that we could have that isn't just from us, but from our families, like addictions or mental health issues. Just being dead to awareness, right, makes you mentally insane. And thank you. And so this was definitely one of the heavier ones I've written. I just, in the state that I was in mentally, like, I was very hurt with like my family, in a sense, because one thing that really takes a big toll on my family is my dad, because most of my life he's been addicted to drugs. And so if you know somebody or have somebody in your family that is like really addicted to drugs, you know how heartbreaking that can be. And it's like hard drugs, right? And so all of my life, he spent his life trying to recover and be sober, and then he would relapse, and that was just like consistent. And during this time, my dad had like recently relapsed, and so that was like another thing that hurt. And that was something that would really break my heart as a child. But now, like, having to, now that I'm an adult, it still hurts because of course I want the best for my dad, but it doesn't bind me. Like, that used to put me into depression, and now it doesn't, because my father's actions can't dictate what I feel and how I feel, and it can't dictate my mind. And so there was a lot of things. I literally felt like I was in battle. Like I was on the battlefield when I was writing this. That's like how I imagined myself when every single letter in here, majority of it is like a moment where I am evaluating a feeling, an emotion, right? Because I don't know if it's like ADHD, autism, or just a lot of trauma that I don't feel what I feel regularly. I don't know. It takes me like days to like literally know that I'm feeling a feeling. Unless I smoke. That's what helps me to feel. And so when I was writing all of this out, like I didn't even realize I had all of this weighing me. And when I get into that state, into writing spoken word, sometimes I literally feel like the pen is just moving. Like I go into this other realm, and things just come out, and I don't even realize what I'm writing. And then later on, I'll read back what I wrote, and it's like, whoa, I actually relate to this now. Now I understand this. Like there were things that I've written years ago that I didn't understand until now. And that's like pretty intense. I'm also a tarot reader. I'm very intuitive. So, you'll hear other things like relating to tarot in here. This one's a really cute one. Unsent Letters, Chapter 3, for the dream. Not Chapter 3, it's Chapter 8, for the dreamers. Little seed, rest. It's time to fall asleep. Close your eyes to see the dream. Little seed, give yourself space to breathe. I planted you so deep beneath. Your roots will stretch and rich they'll be. Little seed, I speak the life you'll soon achieve, affirming your growth, abundance, and speed. Little seed, I love you so deeply. I accept you completely. You're everything I've desired. You're growing so freely. Little seed, drink up as much you need. Absorb warm light. Enjoy your feast. Little seed, your fruit is sweet with hues of a green. You're strong, you're healthy, and far exceed all desires your precious mind can ever dream. Unsent Letters, Chapter 9. The Mirror. Body dysmorphia is a hell of a disease. I lost 45 pounds and I feel so awkward about it. I've done this before, losing hella weight, hella fast, then gain it back just like that. But this time I did it right. I promise I did it right. My intentions, they changed. So why did my brain stay the same? Why is it so hard to look beyond the mirror? Why do I still live in my before pictures? It's like I split who I was, and pictures of before are viewed in disgust. I'm patient enough to give myself time to fall in love with my body at every stage, at every size. Just seems like I can never escape that broken feeling. That feeling I refuse to address and decide to express as a form of self-hate instead. Barricade my thoughts intended to think a certain way year after year, day after day. I avoid the mirror. The disconnected stress of who I see, who I feel, who I am drags me by the neck. I'm distorted, disproportioned, but I snap myself out before I get depressed and move on without giving any importance. I'm avoidant, and it piles up inside. I run away from the love that I worked so hard to nurture and provide. I'm uncomfortable loving a part of me so deeply insecure. I hide what I believe I don't have the capacity to cure. I need faith because I'm afraid I'll never change, and faith is opposite of fear. And these fears may vary. It's very unsettling how many are settling down and deep, planted for life. They own property in my mind, tax free. Wish I was lying. I want to kick them out, but my hands are tied. Bug and ask waters seem to know their rights. They get real loud when I get real blind. I don't even recognize the problem most times. I'll try to hate food and make it the enemy. Deprive myself until I break and blame myself for everything. I'm too big, too thick, but not the right kind that's skinny everywhere except ass and hips. I grew a passion for working out. My back has definition. Back to affirmations that keep me grounded in the gym. Back to lifting weights as a coping mechanism. Back to incline cardio to incline my vibrations. Higher ways of thinking. Deep dive the simulation. Alive and I'm breathing. Over 100 minutes of disassociation. Disassociated with lingering issues can be complicated. Scared to eat what I want because I'm afraid I'll overdo it. Count every pound, every ounce. Fluctuations have me ruined. I work so hard just to be healthy. I started this journey for that exactly. No other motives. I wanted balance. So why the fuck do I still feel damaged? Baggage overturning the scales, paying extra fees if I don't empty out. The panic of not feeling good about myself, not good enough, and self-doubt, screaming and pleading just to be felt. Too many thoughts to think about. I'd rather think than feel. It's easier to do real. I guess that's why I like to smoke before I work out. I can focus on the muscle versus how fat I feel right now. I can focus on my breathing. Lift me up, then calm me down. I love myself deeply. It's just my mind that has a sickness. I do everything to heal so I don't obsess with fitness. Because I'll do anything to drop this weight. And in the past, there were no limits. I'll do anything to stop that feeling that I'm not good enough for living. Because that's how deep these feelings can run. I spent my life trying to outrun them and made myself grow numb. Now I spend my life trying to rewire all the damage that I've done. The more I heal my mind, the safer I feel to heal my heart. The more I heal my heart, the more I feel safe. I always obsessed over being perfect and being skinny because I thought that was the key to making me be happy with myself. When all I ever wanted was to feel safe and comfortable in my own skin. It's so hard enough to not feel safe outside of myself. But if I cultivate and nurture this infinite universe within, if I protect the space within, if I love the space within, if I accept the space within, if I trust the space within, I just might find my wholeness. You can get my book on Amazon, Unsent Letters, a spoken word series by Liquey Ray. Unsent Letters, Chapter 10. Greatness is madness. I'm tired of being seen for my potential. I have the capacity for great things. I create art. I create beauty. My abilities to make life from the dust are endless, and yet, in moments when I am at zero, I feel bound and chained to the greatness of my potential. In my moments of needing rest, in moments of needing simplicity, I am tortured by the potential of greatness not being utilized, tortured by infinity. I'm allowed to be at zero. I get fixated on perception, and every time that leads to my downfall. I do not allow myself to be still. Silence my mind and thoughts and let my potential fade away for the moment. It will always be there when I'm ready to turn it into something real. But in the meantime, I cannot use potential as a measurement of value. I am valuable because I'm me. Whether I'm doing anything or not, whether I have money or not, whether I have projects or not, whether I am thin or not, I constantly feel the need to have to outdo myself. There's a drive to prove myself when I've already proven it. Everything I want to do, I do it. When I no longer want to, I don't. When I want to pick it up again, I do. Everyone expects so much from me. They see my potential and form resentment when they see it not being utilized as they see fit. And now I'm disappointing others for not fulfilling a version of myself that they can imagine me being. I am not my potential. I am me. I disappoint myself when I don't live up to the potential I can see. It's an everyday battle to love yourself, to accept every part of you, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, the creative, the boring, the power, the weakening. Digging into the deeper sides of me has been traumatic and healing. I've come out stronger each time. I spiral. I cry. I lose hope and then gain it back again. I get lost in my mind and depression puts me on pause, but I love myself back into reality. My mind is so beautiful, but it tortures me. It creates art, but deprives me of my sleep. My mind is my rock, and I must keep it on my side, keep it full of love so it doesn't kill me in the night. Give it words that inspire courage and speak words of life. My potential is just a theory, but my greatness is alive. I am zero and infinity at the same time. You can get my book on Amazon, Unsent Letters, a spoken word series by Liquey Ray. So I named my book Unsent Letters because these were, again, all the things I've never said, all the things I never allowed myself to feel. For the first time in my life, I was allowing myself to be heard. And these were things that I never told anybody, things that I never shared with myself or acknowledged was within me. And it was also such a living metaphor because these were my first spoken words after not writing for so long. And this was also going to be my very first book. And it was spoken words that I just didn't publish, things that I didn't let anyone read. I held on to these for 3 years. I held on to these spoken words, and they were my unsent letters. And so now they're finally published, and I'm finally sharing them and letting people buy my book and read these spoken words and hear me perform and hear me. This is what I went through. This is what broke my heart. This is what is on my mind. These are the things that make me feel good and make me feel loved, the things that I love about myself. And I am so proud of this book because it is literally the deepest thing that I've ever done, the most vulnerable thing that I've ever done in my life was writing down these spoken words and allowing people to hear them and to read them. And also it's really cool. All right. I will do one more. I do have to go very soon. Yeah, this is how when I was writing this, this is the manifestation of everything that was in my heart and in my mind at the time. And writing this book healed me. Writing this book allowed me to see what was inside, and there were a lot of things that I felt were ugly, and but it was a way for me to also heal my inner child, heal my inner teenager, heal just like parts of me that I overlooked and didn't allow myself to rant about, didn't allow myself to be mad about or be sad about, because I felt like I wasn't allowed to feel my feelings. As a kid, that was what I felt like. I couldn't show that because I had to always present, right, as this like perfect, put together Christian, this perfect leader. And I wasn't able to show my human sides, show what I felt. I felt like I couldn't even express how in love I was, right? Because I had to be this like pure, perfect girl. And this is like the full manifestation of like my deep self-expression. Yeah, it really did. And it heals me every time I read these back. I can see myself in those moments, and like as a young girl, and just how deeply I felt at that time. And even reading these things now, there's things that are like, man, I can still feel that. And after reading the other pieces, it heals that part again, and it reminds me of how far I've come. It reminds me, to not listen to like the bad thoughts, and to speak life into yourself and focus on your dreams. Like the spoken word for the dreamers, that is like for me every time I plant a seed in something, and to trust the process and to keep speaking life over that. And whatever you're wanting and manifesting, whatever you're working on in life, like it will happen. They will grow. If you want to start a business, like you can do it. If you want to write a book, you could do it. You could do anything in this life. And a lot of the insecurities that I had, that I wrote about, were reasons that held me back from publishing this. They were reasons that held me back from having a YouTube channel, things that held me back from starting business and doing tarot again. Like I'm a tarot reader, and I love doing tarot, but I had stopped for a long time because of my family. And I can't have that. Like I can't let their thoughts and their opinions be the reason why I don't do what I want to do in my life. Okay. Unsent Letters, Chapter 11. Lovely Thoughts. How do I begin to live again? Detached from the 3D, I'm floating in a semi-controlled consciousness. And yet, I want to be in love. But the wanting in itself is already false. It's a distraction. Am I supposed to want marriage? Or shall I continue to romanticize my existential crisis? What stops me from participating in the 3D world? The 3D world is beautiful. There's color and trees And Rick and Morty, shrooms and weed, going to the gym, the halal time food truck on E6. There's laughing with your best friends and Jack in the Box curly fries. There's the smell of bookstores and pretty blue butterflies. As long as I continue to focus on the beautiful, maybe, just maybe, I can link to the 3D once again. Maybe I can open up. Maybe even let someone in. If I focus on counting the threads, I can find enough to patch me back in. I'm fading away. Can anyone still see me? Am I spiraling or ascending? They feel the same to me. Maybe they are. Why must I torture myself? I laugh because my mind will convince me that I deserve it. When I deserve peace, I deserve ease, I deserve rest, I deserve to breathe, I deserve love, I deserve joy, I deserve to live a life of poise. The threads that keep me together, everything that is lovely, everything that is pure, everything that is pleasurable, everything that is sincere. May those things occupy my mind. May creativity and inspiration be my map, not my pride. May devotion and discipline power my feet, change my course. May my ego be a resource and not my source. Alrighty. Thank you so much for being here with me. Again, you could get my book on Amazon, Unsent Letters, a spoken word series by Liquey Ray. Okay, gotta go. Love you. Bye.